With that, I want to begin the practice this evening with a little story, and then we'll get into our sitting practice. And really, the story is this idea of a rock. My name, Peter, means rock in Greek. So I've always felt this really great connection to the earth, and people might say I'm fairly solid in just my presence and kind of an earthy guy. But there's also the idea that this rock has a very solid outside, but sometimes it's a hardened outside, a hardened shell. And when you think about water that flows over the rock, water eventually over time will soften rock. I mean, the river that runs over a rock eventually will run right through rock as it breaks it down. And when you break down rock, what you're really left with are granules of sand. But the essence of those granules of sand, these little pieces of rock, is the same as that solid rock, right? It's just a piece of it, but the essence of it is the same. So in our practice tonight, I'd like you to consider that, perhaps how we protect ourselves in life, and that can we allow ourselves to soften a little bit, like water flowing over us, to really get to the essence, this true essence that we have that sits deep within us. I want to think about this mindfulness practice also, which is essentially bringing us into the present moment, right? When we talk about our mindfulness practice, it's always about coming back to the present, coming back to the present. And I like to think that when we deal with feelings of acceptance or not being accepted, or judging ourselves, difficulties in life, a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to be in the present, right? If we're somewhere else and dealing with these difficulties, and it maybe even consider like this hard shell that we develop, we really don't allow ourselves to be in the present. It prevents us from being right here. So again, just something else to consider as we flow through this practice. So tonight, as you settle into your space, find a comfortable seat. Feeling the weight of the earth below us, and if it's at all helpful, to gently allow your eyes to rest. And I invite you tonight to bring your true self to this practice, whatever that means for you. The many parts of yourself are all welcome here. It's said that we are made up of the 7 generations that existed before us. All their joys and sorrows and challenges and successes are all part of us today. So I invite you to bring your nervous self, your unsure self, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, all parts of yourself that make you who you are, knowing that you're all welcome here this evening. As we sit, feeling the weight of the ground, feeling the weight of our bodies, and pull the ground below us, imagining a beautiful light that surrounds us, a warm, radiant light that represents acceptance, non-judgment, compassion. Qualities that are essential in embracing yourself and your T1D journey as well. As you visualize this light, perhaps it's a hue of yellow or orange or red, allowing it to fill your whole self with a sense of warmth, love, and understanding. If it's difficult to visualize the colors, perhaps feel the colors, what that may represent within you. Notice your breath. So as we sit here, allowing us to relax and release with each breath. I invite you to breathe in acceptance. And breathe out judgment. To breathe in compassion and the colors associated with it. And breathe out cold-heartedness. So breathe in curiosity. Breathe out closed-mindedness. So breathe in pride. To breathe out shame. Breathing in liberation and the colors that you can associate with that. Breathing out the darkness of enslavement. Just to consider as we breathe in all these colors: acceptance, compassion, curiosity, pride, liberation. Just imagine almost as if these are waves of water that flows over us, opening us up. Connecting us with that grain of sand that's deep within our true essence. At any moment in the practice today, as always, if you find your mind drifting or somewhere else, perhaps the past or future, just to acknowledge that, bring complete acceptance to the idea that your mind is working, non-judgment. Returning to your breath. this rainbow of colors softening us. I'd like for you to take a moment, using your mind's eye, to consider or remember a moment of pride, whatever that means to you. Something that you are proud of, connecting with this feeling of complete acceptance, perhaps celebration, or even someone who supported you or supports you unconditionally. Someone who's always there for you. Perhaps picture the face of these people, or how you envision yourself in this moment of pride. Perhaps sensing a smile on your face. Just connecting with any feelings that are associated with this. Is there warmth in your heart or part of your body that's glowing? Just tap into this idea of complete acceptance, celebration. Where do you feel this? And perhaps taking this a little bit further, can you extend some of the colors of the rainbow? Just imagine them emanating from your body. It's like a 1970s Dr. Pepper or Sergeant Pepper scene, and just covering and connecting with all those who surround you. So you breathe in and breathe out this feeling. I invite you to consider these words or say them to yourself. May I be celebrated. May I be appreciated. May I accept myself for who I am. May I live my life free of judgments, with peace and ease. I invite you to bring those feelings into your heart. And to consider another memory or past happening or past event. And perhaps a moment where it was difficult. Time when perhaps you felt not accepted or felt shame or judging yourself too harshly. And to just sit here and not judging yourself now, Just sensing in your body where you can feel this difficulty. Does it appear as a color, perhaps, or temperature shift? Noticing what arises in your body when you think of the difficulty in dealing with acceptance or not being accepted, being judged. Just seeing if you can, again, experience these feelings, perhaps almost like you're watching a train pass by. Noticing, but not really getting involved. Perhaps to repeat these words: I celebrate myself. I appreciate myself and my strength. I recognize my true nature. I live my life free of judgments with ease. Once again, returning to our breath. Breathing in acceptance. Breathing out judgment. Breathing in compassion for ourselves and others. Breathing out our cold-heartedness. Breathing in curiosity. Breathing out closed-mindedness. Breathing in pride. Breathing out shame. Allow, once again, if you can, these beautiful colors of the rainbow, the reds, yellows, greens, glow of the orange, coolness of the blues and purples to envelop you and support you. Recognizing that we are all on a journey of liberation. Reminder to be kind to ourselves, to live our lives with compassion towards ourselves. We can embrace acceptance, freeing ourselves from difficulties. We can live our lives with pride, liberate ourselves from constraints of societal expectations. And once again, visioning these words, I celebrate myself. I appreciate myself. I accept myself from my true nature and live my life fully with freedom and pride. Visioning once more these colors of the rainbows emanating from your body and reaching out and touching those in the sangha, those in your own space. Allowing us to connect with each other in beautiful ways. Recognizing that this beautiful light flows within each of us. Recognizing our own strength, our resilience, diversity and beauty of our identities. As we begin to bring our practice tonight to a close, I want to share a quote from Sharon Salzberg. She said, I believe in the possibility of a world where our interconnection is a deeply known and motivating force, where no one is left out, where the innate dignity of every person is acknowledged, and where hatred and fear and greed can be tempered. I believe in a world where change might be hard, but it's always seen as possible, however stuck we might feel in any given moment. I believe in a world where we can have wisdom to guide us, and we can have love to propel us, and we have the support of one another to try to accomplish a vision of inclusion and care. And I believe in a world where the fluidity and softness of love, like water, might superficially seem like the weakest thing of all, but lo and behold, it's indomitable. It can even wear away rock. we conclude our practice tonight, carry with us this idea of acceptance and compassion, our own hearts towards ourselves, and as we interact with others, creating a world where all are respected and celebrated. Inviting to take a deeper breath in. Expanding your lungs and feeling the warmth of the breath in your body. And closing the practice with whatever wish you'd like to share with yourself or with the others here tonight. And bringing some movement to our hands, back, neck, whatever feels good. I'm just feeling the warmth of your hands on your body. And when ready, just reconnecting with the sangha.